Good evening, everyone. At this point of the series, now that we're approaching the end, you should have a good understanding of what to expect if you visit a Toastmasters meeting. I'm talking about the different components, the prepared speeches, the impromptu, the evaluations, as well as what each of the evaluators there is looking for. Timing, Oz, filler words, and grammar. But what about the long term? What is it about Toastmasters that makes the members want to stay there for the long run? The Pathways program. What are pathways? Well, in a nutshell, pathways are 11 different curriculums. Toastmasters choose at least one. Each one has a specific leadership and communication style in mind for each member to pursue and cultivate within themselves. Because people join Toastmasters for a variety of reasons, whether it be professional or personal, these pathways equally come in a diversity of styles. There are pathways to improve your negotiation techniques. There's a pathway for presentation. There's a pathway for visionary communication. That's mine. There's a pathway for humor. Depending on what type of communication and leadership style you want to develop within yourself, chances are there is a pathway for that. There are 11 different ones to choose from. Well, in this video, I will be talking about what the Pathways program is at a glance, as well as talking about what each pathway centers on. Before I talk about them specifically, all the pathways are divided into 5 levels. The first one I will be talking about in depth because level 1 is the same for all 11 pathways. It starts off with your icebreaker speech. It's a 4 to 6 minute speech where you introduce yourself to the club. It's supposed to be like that because, well, the topic that we know best, the topic that we like to talk about the best, is about ourselves. What better way to begin your Toastmasters journey than to talk about yourself and introduce yourself to the club in a 4 to 6 minute speech? The second level 1 speech is called Write a Speech with Purpose. It could be a speech on any topic you want, literally any topic you want. So long as you inform, persuade, entertain, whatever. The idea there is to talk about something else, but to further accustom you in speaking your mind in front of a crowd. The third level 1 project is Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. These 2 criteria that we talked about in a few videos ago are the 2 ones that can make or break your speech. If you speak in monotone, people are going to zone out. If you speak without you moving your body, if you stand still, people are also going to zone out. They might even worry about you. That particular project is geared for you to keep those 2 aspects in mind when you present yourself in front of a crowd. The fourth and final level 1 is one of the ones I find most valuable in all the Pathways journey. Evaluation and feedback, it's called. There, you write a speech on any topic you want. You present it to the crowd. You hear what your evaluator has to say about you. You make notes. Then you present that speech again with your evaluator's notes in mind. The idea there is to hopefully listen to your feedback and take it into account so you could better deliver your speech a second time. Very valuable project. Level 1 focuses on mastering the fundamentals. Level 2 focuses on, it's a level of self-discovery. There, depending on your pathway, you come to terms with your leadership and or communication style. You find out what it is by taking a couple of questionnaires. And then from there on out, you're supposed to keep those in mind during leadership scenarios. That level also talks about the importance of mentoring. Level 4 adds on top of that and focuses on building skills within yourself that is relevant to your pathway. And finally, level 5 is on demonstrating expertise. It's supposed to be the capstone, the finale of your pathway. If it is done right, you will emerge out of level 5 someone entirely different than you were at the beginning of level 1. I am literally one speech away from finishing my level 5, and yeah. Generally, the key components of levels 3, 4, 5, I say key components because there are electives, they vary tremendously depending on the different pathways, but across all of them, level 1 is exactly the same, and level 2 is generally the same. Well, let's go through each of them one by one. The first pathway is called Presentation Mastery. Whether you see yourself giving presentations for work or perhaps in front of an auditorium, yes, choose this pathway. As we said, levels 1 and 2, pretty much the same for all of them, but level 3 has a project called Persuasive Speaking, where you learn a little bit more about what a persuasive speech entails. Important for presentations. Level 4, the key project there is called Managing a Difficult Audience. I have seen this project done once in Toastmasters. It is amazing. You give a speech on any topic you want, but you ask 2 or 3 people within your club to intentionally heckle you. The focus on that project is not so much on the delivery of the speech, but on how you handle things that you didn't expect. Very valuable if you wish to become a presenter. And finally, the level 5 project on presentation mastery is called Prepare to Speak Professionally. If I remember correctly, this is an 18 to 22 minute speech. You talk about anything at all, but the idea there is to keep your audience engaged for that length of time. Oh my God. The second pathway is called Dynamic Leadership. If you would like to pursue a leadership position somewhere where the things are never the same, things might come out of left field, if you don't like boring workplaces, this is the one for you. The level 3 project is called Negotiate the Best Outcome. It touches a little bit on negotiation tactics, of course. Level 4's project is called Manage Change. Where you talk about a change that has happened to you and how you handled it, or a change that will happen and how you will handle it. It could also be a hypothetical change. But the level 5 project is called Lead in Any Situation. What I'm reading here, it makes it seem that this one's quite demanding because as a prerequisite for this project, it requires the speaker having spent 6 months in an organization and talking about it in an 8 to 10 minute speech, and also what they've learned from it, how they'll improve, and so forth. The third pathway is called Effective Coaching. This is the leadership style where you are onto someone to make sure that they are improving the way you want them to. You are also growing with them as a mentor here. The level 3 project is called Reaching Consensus. Of course, this is more so in a group setting where you want to gauge everyone's opinions and you set a course depending on everyone's collective opinion that would serve for the benefit of the whole group. The level 4 project is called Improvement Through Positive Coaching, and the level 5 project, I actually really like this one, High Performance Leadership. It is a 2-speech project. In the first one, you give a 5 to 7 minute speech on a plan for you to lead somewhere or something or coach someone. You do so, then you come back to the club in the following meeting and you give a second speech talking about what you learned from it. Very interesting 2-part speech. The fourth pathway is called Engaging Humor. I'm pretty sure this is the latest one to be added to the roster, and I can see why it may be a popular choice for some, especially if they would like to pursue something like stand-up comedy. Or at the very least, to be seen as a little funnier in their eyes of their families or friend groups and so forth. I'm actually really interested in taking this one someday. And justly so, the level 3 speech is called Engage Your Audience with Humor. 5 to 7 speech, that's funny. Then level 4 is the power of humor in an impromptu speech. Hang on. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, in this project, the Toastmaster gives the member engaged in this pathway 2 impromptu topics. The member has no idea what they are, but they are encouraged to give a humorous, witty response on each of them on the fly. And if I'm reading this correctly, the evaluator on that one focuses a little bit more on the least successful of the 2 speeches and gives notes on that one. That way the member could take them into account to be a funnier speaker the next time around. Oh my God. And the level 5 project on this one is called Deliver Your Message with Humor. It is an 18 to 22 minute speech. This is actually, it's a set. It's a set for a stand-up comic, so to speak. If you would like to pursue that, this is your pathway, my friends. Fifth pathway is called Innovative Planning. This is a little bit more for people in managerial roles where steps and strategies are involved. The level 3 project is called Present a Proposal. Level 4 is Manage Projects Successfully. And the level 5 is High Performance Leadership. It's also applied here. It's the 2-part project that we discussed a few pathways ago. Pathway number 6 is called Leadership Development. The level 3 speech is called Planning and Implementing. The level 4 is Leading Your Team. And level 5, the main project there, is called Managing Successful Events. The idea there is to use everything you've learned in your Toastmasters curriculum to lead an event and then come back to the club and talk about it within a 5 to 7 minute speech. Pathway number 7, Motivational Strategies. If you are in a position where you are in a team or leading a team and everyone needs to stay hyper-focused and positive for the mission of whatever group you're in, this is for you. The level 3 here is called, Understanding Emotional Intelligence. Damn, I wish more managers and leaders I wish they knew this shit. Level 4 is Motivate Others, and level 5, I'm reading here, is Team Building. Let me see what this is. Okay. The members finishing this pathway, it's a 2-part speech. The first one, they talk about a team building activity or event that they plan to lead. They do so afterwards outside the club. Then they come back and they talk about it in a 5 to 7 minute speech. They talk about their experiences and what they learned from it. Ooh, this pathway looks really good. Persuasive Influence, it's called. If you feel that you have it in you, potentially, to be a positive role model or would like to develop that skill set within you, this is the pathway for you, my friends. Persuasive Influence. That way you could lead whoever it is that you're leading, whether it be the workplace or your kids, in a way that is both constructive for them, for you, and for the organization or the family. The level 3 project is called Understanding Conflict Resolution. That's a good one. Level 4 is Leading in Difficult Situations. And level 5, again, High Performance Leadership. Pathway number 9, Strategic Relationships. I'm actually very intrigued about this one as well because of its focus on networking. Justly so, the level 3 project here is Make Connections Through Networking. Level 4 is Public Relations Strategies, where you talk about your plans to get to know more people, shake more hands. And now the level 5 project, I'm actually... This one's really ambitious. It's called Leading in Your Volunteer Organization. This one requires you to join an organization outside of Toastmasters, pursue an officer position within it, be there for a good amount of time such that your fellow officers can give you a fair 360 evaluation on the pros and your areas for improvement for you. Then you come back to the club and you report your experience as a volunteer in that organization as an officer. The idea there is to also share your lessons on leadership to the rest of the club so they can learn from you as well. The second to last pathway is called team collaboration. If you are a lone wolf, but you feel that it's best for you to learn the magic of teamwork, this is your pathway, my friend. The level 3 project is called successful collaboration. The level 4 project is called motivate others. And the level 5 is lead in any situation. That one also requires you to join a volunteer organization outside of Toastmasters, come back, report on it. But again, this whole pathway revolves around you having a part in a group in order to further the group's mission. Finally, the 11th pathway, it's actually my pathway, the one I'm just about to finish, visionary communication. This one revolves around you talking about your ideas such that you place a vision in the minds of others. The level 3 project is called developing a communication plan. In mine, for example, I talked about my YouTube channel. The level 4 project is called communicating change. I did a crazy speech for this one. That's a topic for another time. And the level 5 is developing your vision. In this project, I talked about the business I'm working on. I've so far enjoyed my... You know what? I'm going to talk about my whole experience in Toastmasters as a sort of finale to this series, which is actually, in a way, the final project of all the pathways. Reflect on your path. I believe it is a 8 to 10 minute, if not a 10 to 12 minute speech on your experience as a Toastmaster, from how you began to how you grew to how you ended your pathway as a speaker and as a leader. But yes, my friends, if you are thinking about joining Toastmasters, these are the 11 different pathways presented as options before you. If you're not sure which one to pursue, there is in fact a questionnaire on the Toastmasters website. It'll ask you your values, what you wish to see within yourself, and from there it will decide. It'll give you 3 suggestions for which pathways will be best suited for you to grow as a speaker and leader. With that, I say, have a good one, take care, speak well, and kick ass.